Mexican-American War. Mexican-American War was the combination of a Mexican unwillingness to recognize Texan independence and the desire of Texans for statehood and the American desire for westward expansion. The Battle of Palto Alto was the first major battle of the Mexican-American War and was fought on May 8, 1846, on disputed ground 5 miles from the modern-day city of Brownsville, Texas. A force of some 3,700 Mexican troops, most of the Army of the North led by General Mariano Arista, engaged a force of approximately 2,300 United States troops of the Army of the Occupation led by General Zachary Taylor. On May 12, 1846, the United States Senate voted 40-2 to go to war with Mexico. President James K. Polk had accused Mexican troops of having attacked Americans on U.S. soil north of the Rio Grande, but Mexico claimed this land as its own territory and accused the American military of having invaded. Texas Senator Sam Houston argued that Texas had been warring with Mexico for a decade over their disputed border, and that once the United States had annexed Texas in 1845, it had inherited the conflict. Early on July 7, 1846, the frigate USS Savannah and the two sloops USS Kane and the USS Levant of the United States Navy, along with 225 sailors and Marines, commanded by Commodore John D. Sloat, captured Monterey and raised the flag of the United States. The battles of Buena Vista, February 22nd through 23rd, 1847, fought between the U.S. invading forces, largely volunteers under General Zachary Taylor, and the much larger Mexican army under General Antonio Lopez de Santa Anna. It took place near Buena Vista, a village in the state of Calahua, about 7.5 miles south of Salto. The outcome of the battle was both sides claiming victory. Santa Anna's forces withdrew with war trophies of cannons and flags and left the field to the surprised American forces, who had expected there to be another day of hard fighting. The Battle for Mexico City refers to the series of engagements from September 8 to September 15, 1847, in the general vicinity of Mexico City. The U.S. Army, under Winfield Scott with 20,000 troops, 1,651 casualties, scored a major success against the Mexicans that had 13,000 troops, 5,323 casualties that ended the war. The treaty signed on February 2, 1848, ended the war between the U.S. and Mexico. By its terms, Mexico ceded 55% of its territory, including parts of present-day Arizona, California, New Mexico, Texas, Colorado, Nevada, and Utah, to the United States. President Polk signed an act providing for the prosecution of existing war between the U.S. and the Republic of Mexico. February 2, 1848, the Treaty of Guadalupe Hidalgo was signed by the United States and Mexico. The Mexican Cession is the region in the modern-day southwestern United States that Mexico ceded to the U.S. in the Treaty of Guadalupe Hidalgo in 1848 after the Mexican-American War. This region had not been a part of the areas east of the Rio Grande that had been claimed by the Republic of Texas, though the Texas Annexation Resolution 2 years earlier had not specified the southern and westward boundaries of the new state of Texas. At roughly 529,000 square miles, the Mexican Cession was the third largest acquisition of U.S. territory in history.